We're back, and it's time to install that into this bad boy.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Alright, so like I told you guys in the previous video, the Drift HQ handbrake comes with a base plate to weld onto the chassis in order to mount the handbrake with ease. So with that being said, I want to run this in the stock location and do a pull-up style with this handbrake. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to pull up all the interior in here, mostly the cup holders and the armrest and all that area with the OEM handbrake. I'll have to pull all that out, seat the handbrake in a location where I kind of want it to be, and then see what needs to be cut or chopped. Hopefully not much needs to be done, but in the event that it does, I'm more than willing to cut all this up. So we'll just jump straight into it. I'll start tearing apart the center console so we can try to find a location to mount the handbrake.
First, we gotta move the shifter. This whole thing comes out. Pretty sure one of these cables was broken, that's why the stock handbrake wasn't working. Now, one of the other cool features that I totally forgot to mention in the last video is that you can flip this master either direction depending on what side you want these AN banjos to come out, or if you do a different style, but you could still rotate the entire master 180 degrees and get it where you want it. I kind of want this thing to sit around this area, and that's it in first gear now, so I'll probably end up flipping the master as well, flip it onto its side so that the lines are all inside of the center console area. I want it to be somewhere around that area. Pretty much have an outline on where we can cut with the carpet because that's where the carpet touches. So stock was there. The grip for the handbrake was about the locked window switch or the back light or the back left window switch. So if I want to mount this thing next to that, I would have to be right at the base of the airbag box. I don't really want it at an angle, but that's just kind of naturally how it's gonna have to sit. Yeah, I gotta cut the carpet out all the way up to the airbag box. I'll probably go from the airbag box here, a little bit out wider, and then almost along that crease because I don't want the carpet to come out of underneath the console cover. So I'm gonna grab a razor blade, cut this thing open. So I could mount it somewhere around there. We could even make like a riser for it. Oh, let's see, because I might want it to be further back, like in that area. So if we go somewhere around that area, I could always cut the rod and have it screw further into the heim. Like I said, you can get it pretty high, but in the event that it's not high enough, you could always cut it to create more pull up. Well, essentially to get it to rest in a higher position. Why is it stopping now? Oh, because that's not. So that's flat. I don't mind that area, and then adjust the rod. I'm hitting the banjo bolts too, so let me go flip this master around real quick. I keep trying to do it that way. It's not the right way to do that. Stop trying to do that. How do I unplug this? There it is. Okay. Now I can fit things without having issues. Let me flip this master. I'll grab that 5mm and I'll flip these so that the banjos will be on the passenger side of the master instead of the driver's side. Now we can mount this directly here and flat onto this. Weld the front side, get a little bit of a standoff here, get in there, tack in some stuff. Most of the pressure that's going to be put onto this handbrake is going to be on the front here. So if we can weld most of this and then give it some back support with like a little piece of like, I don't know, remnant steel that's just laying around. Weld the top of it and then weld the bead for it mounted so it doesn't wobble. So we have that sturdy bead up front and then a nice sturdy bead in the back. This thing's not going anywhere. We should be pretty damn good. All right, so I think we're gonna be somewhere in this area. I'll probably adjust down now that it's sitting in a better spot. We'll definitely bring the handbrake down, but from the looks of it, when you kind of cover all this up and you start putting all the other pieces back in here, for instance, the cup holder and the ashtray and all that, this thing starts to look pretty damn OEM and really, really clean in here. Next step's gonna be getting a hold of the boys over at Proper Fab Works and getting them to weld that landing plate in for me. Once that landing plate's in, screw in the handbrake, and the last thing is plumbing. Then we get to go test. That's gonna look super clean when it's done. Let's go get those boys to weld it in for us. We made it to Proper. Tony's here. He's gonna weld it for me. So now we'll build up a couple things for the front side because there's gonna be a lot of tension there, and then Tony's talked about putting a good bead there and a nice bead on the back side, and then it should be plenty good. It's in! Oh my god, you almost stabbed me in the eyeball. That thing was literally like this. Like, boom, boom, boom. Don't put your thing in my face, Tony. There it is, plate's welded in, no big deal. Throw all this back together and then we'll throw the actual handbrake on it and see what it looks like. This is definitely gonna come back out when we do like all the plumbing and stuff, but I just wanna show you guys what it looks like. All right, there it is. Really comfortable spot. My arm is able to go back here with this seat. I could even reduce the height now on this so I can bring the handle further down, which I think would look better. We could throw a little bit of the center console back together. Yeah, I think like that height's perfect. Pretty stout, pretty sturdy. Yeah, I ain't going nowhere. Let's see, let's throw this guy back in real quick. And then if we throw the boot on, throw this guy back in here. It'll have its resting position, which is around there. Dude, I think that's pretty freaking clean. Pretty clean if you ask me. Utilize all the stock interior. This is gonna fit in with the rest of it. It's all gonna look OEM when it's all back together. And then I'll just have to drill holes back here in the trans tunnel to get the brake lines through. But other than that, that's pretty much it and installed. Now I'll jump back to the big camera. Oh, there it is. Just give you a little side profile action. Super clean combo with the shifter, and then I can even lower that handbrake even some more if I wanted to. But it's gonna be somewhere around there. So that shifter, that handbrake, pretty clean in an OEM location. Doesn't look like there's anything really going on there. It's one of those things like if you know, you know. Tony, gracias, senor. Thanks for the help. Of course. I'll get this thing all put back together, but in the next video I will show you how to plumb it in and kind of show you what I chose to do with all my Phoenix fittings and all that. But that's the hardest part, I think. Now it's mounted, so on to the next one. As always, boys, stay safe.